What's in your golf bag? The series where you show and film your golf bag and I give you affordable advice when trying to upgrade your equipment on the second-hand market. Let's do it. Guys, don't put any more in your bag, go and practice and play. Don't go and put any more in your bag, go and practice and play. This is the one video, and he's obviously bought some new clubs now, which I'm very excited to see. This is the only time that I'd be going, you need to buy some clubs. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. What's in your golf bag? A very popular series that I did last lockdown. A lot of you requested that I do a lot more of these videos. If you want to be in the next episode, what's in your golf bag at gmail.com is the email address to send the video of your golf bag. Let's get into the first one. Also, you're more likely to be featured if you video the bag. Pictures and text isn't that great viewing, especially for a YouTube video. And also Google Drive, if you send it through that way, sometimes I can open them, sometimes I can't. I do try my best though. But anyway, let's get into the video. Right, here's Wayne's bag, and I think he's done very well. He obviously showed us the distances that he's hitting, and I think he's done a lot of the right things. And if you're struggling with height in your game, I highly advise to get as many hybrids and woods in the top end of the bag. There's no point having a 4-iron, there's no point technically having a 5-iron as well. Get some hybrids, it's only gonna help that ball climb. The weird question from Wayne was, he has a stiff flex shaft in the 4 hybrid. My question is, why? Do you hit that particularly better than the rest? He was thinking he's got soft regular, which I imagine he's been fitted for. I don't think many people just go out and buy i210s with soft regs in them, for example. So I imagine he's been fitted for those. There's no benefit to going to steel. Zero. All the shaft is doing is delivering that club to the ball. If you're getting on well with them at the moment, steel's not technically going to help you. Even if it's lightweight, lightweight steel is never going to be as light as graphite. If you feel the soft rake is causing those pull shots because that club head's closing too much, then potentially go up to even reg or stiff flex graphite. But if you want club head speed, always go down the route of graphite. I love the ping answer putter in the bottom there, but that's my honest advice. Okay, moving on swiftly. Tuomas, I hope I pronounced that right, all the way from Finland. Thank you ever so much for watching the channel. Currently plays off 14, improving fast. He feels his short game is good, but has control with the longer irons. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sure you think the short game is good, but if we look at the lower end of your bag, definitely could have some improvement as well, especially if you want to get down to that single figure range, because let's be honest, how often are you actually using those longer irons? Because I imagine you hit at a decent distance, especially if your 7 irons going 160, driver's probably going 250, therefore you're never really hitting 4 or 5 irons into greens. 913 driver, very good driver head, especially affordable coming into winter. Guys, if you're looking for affordable driver at the moment, 913, 80 quid, 70 quid, go and pick one up if you haven't got a 460 like big head, that is. Callaway Rogue 3 hybrid, which is a bit, it's filled the gap nicely but potentially a bit too nicely. Reluctantly I'd be maybe take that out, but it is an expensive club, so again that's why it's reluctantly that it potentially come out. If I was to fit you, again, forward to pitching wedge, you've obviously got the club head speed to use it. We're definitely going to have a look at your bag now. But I'd probably have a 5 wood in there to give you more loft, and then like a 5 hybrid, again more loft to suit nicely into that 4-iron. Probably stops you having to use a 4-iron as much. But again, you're improving quickly. There's so many things that will be going on. I'd love to know how long you've been playing. Like if you've been playing less than a year, maybe 2 years, potentially still hold off. I love the Cleveland CG irons in here as well. Very good, affordable cavity back iron, guys. If you've just started the game, you're looking for a set for Christmas, £100 for a full set of irons, steel shafts, good grips, and they're going to do what you want, then that's kind of, Cleveland's a great route to go down. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. All of a sudden, pitching wedge, he's going to have a massive gap between that 52 and 50 pitching wedge from his set. I imagine he hits his pitching wedge probably 120 yards. That 52 VR Pro is probably going to go 80, maybe 90. So I'd really like to see 50, 54, 58 in terms of filling up that gap. And then obviously lovely Odyssey putter at the bottom there. Let's have a quick look at the bag. I'll show you in person. It's a nice quick video. Does hit down on the ball obviously quite a lot, but I mean potentially with your rescue you do want to bruise the ground for sure. As you can see, just very sparse at the bottom end there. I know you say your short game is quite good, but I imagine you've picked up the game very quickly. All of a sudden you're not thinning or fatting them, therefore you perceive it's good. I'd probably get rid of that 52 and maybe get another Mac Daddy. Doesn't have to be brand new, but get like a 54 and a 50 in there to then gap up to your pitching wedge and your set. And then at the top end of the bag, if you keep the Callaway Rogue, the only issue is that Callaway Rogue 3 is going to go as far as a 5 wood, so I wouldn't want you to get both of them because you've got two clubs doing the same thing. But a 5 would be easier to hit, more loft, and you're going to get a bit more club head speed behind it. Then if you were to then have another club, it'd be a 5 hybrid. Overall though, I think you've done really well for the bag. As I say, you're new to the game, practice, practice, practice. You'll be getting there quite easily anyway, mate. Right, next up is Lewis. Thank you, Lewis, for sending in your bag. He's been playing on and off for 4 or 5 years, only broke 100 once. And I think this is a great bag to have a look at because this might relate to especially a lot of you that have joined basically this year due to lockdown and golf courses being open, or you might be returning to the game. He's done a great job, by the way, filling his bag. I'll show you in a minute. £40 for the Cobra Bio driver, 37 for the hybrid, £60 for the 4 hybrid, 200 which you got new from American Golf in their sale. Wilson irons, I think that's a great purchase. But we want to break 100 consistently. This is the goal here. And again, it's very interesting when I read these like descriptions of their golf game. So many people are concerned with the top end of their bag, and if you're trying to break 100, we're talking like 8 greens in regulation, only 32 putts and less, a potential 4 to 5 fairways found. When you break it all down, the stats that you actually need are so minimal, but they seem so far away because we get bogged down on practicing the stuff that we think is important when in reality it's not. If we look through his bag now, we'll get a bit more of an understanding where we need to improve and potentially work on. Okay, let's move into Lewis's bag. Here's the video of it. First of all, I think he's done a fantastic job building a bag on a budget. We're talking £200 for the irons, £40 each for the hybrids, £50 I think for the driver. Wedges were £40 off Facebook, £30 for a putter. Fantastic job. And you've got all the tools to break 100. I know you're looking for that miracle cure, but the clubs are pretty much there. Majority of people could go out with your bag and shoot 100. What I'd want to know from you is where's the destructive shot? Where are these 8s and 9s coming from? Is it your driver? Is it you thinning your chips? Is it you topping your irons? If you get rid of that bad shot, you're going to be breaking 100 a lot more consistently, because when I look at your bag, you've basically got everything that you need, or you've got the ingredients, I should say, to actually break 100 consistently. Is it your driver? Where's your bad shot? Is it right or is it left? When it comes to breaking 100, stats are very simple. Not simple, I don't mean like that. You've got to find, I don't know, 8 fairways. You've got to find 6 greens in regulation. You've got to make sure you only have 32 putts around. Don't have these destructive shots. Make sure you get out of a bunker. My honest advice, Lewis, is go and get a lesson. You're concerned again by the top end of the bag, like a lot of people are. Putting an unbelievable 5-wood in the bag there, I can't see drastically dropping your shots round per round. Maybe get rid of one of the rescues to then add in another wood to get you tiny bit more distance, tiny bit more height. Forgiveness. Again though, even if you took the driver out of the bag and just hit rescues 160, 180 yards down the fairway, then a 7-iron to the front of the green, then chip on, as long as you've got a good chipping stats and you're putting 2 putts within 40 foot of the hole, that's going to get you breaking 100. So I want to know more about your stats, where the bad shots are, to really root down on why you're not breaking 100 consistently. But looking at the equipment, I think you've built a great bag. Maybe go and get a couple half-an-hour lessons, practice, enjoy it, but you're doing well. Okay, last one from Russell. From Scotland originally, lives just outside of Bangkok in Thailand. Imagine the golf courses around there are pretty incredible. I've been watching a lot of my videos, and he's taking a lot of what he's seen in my videos to heart, and just reading through some of the decisions he's made does make me extremely happy, as some of the advice that I give is generally helping people out there, finding good clubs for them that doesn't cost a lot of money. Now, he sent me 2 videos, one of his original bag, and then the second one, which I honestly haven't looked at, using the advice.
Hi Simon,
Hi, Russell.
avid watcher of your videos. I
love watching
Scottish,
these.
but
I love watching people like say, like, you guys obviously see me a lot, and I do get quite a few people, especially if I'm at a golf club, come up to me and talk to me about the second-hand stuff and everything else, and you know a lot about me. I don't know a lot about you guys, but this is really
cool. A
whole
load of new clubs. I want to show you what I'm hitting just now, or what I've been hitting, and my best score was around 102. I'm always scoring between 100 and 110. That's been my last 7 or 8 rounds. Anyway, so I just want to show you what I've got in my bag. Here it is.
This bag's fantastic, by the way, because I think this sums up majority of people's equipment when they get them from their granddad or passed down to them, or they've seen it for £10 on Facebook, whatever it might be.
Warbird, and I decided the head was too small, so I picked up the bigger.
Can I also just say, those Warbird woods, if you're looking for something just to fill a gap in the top of your bag, nothing wrong with them. I know they're small, but they sit lovely on the ground, especially if you're in a country that's warm and the ground's firm all the time. They just sit so nicely behind the ball. So many woods now are designed to be just hit off a tee, whereas these, there's hardly any bounce. They essentially just sit underneath the golf ball. Yes, they're tiny and potentially not as forgiving as the newer stuff, but for £10 they serve a purpose. Again,
Big Bertha Warbird. That club I can hit pretty well at the driving range, but on the golf course it was, let's just say, most shots were terrible.
I'd ask especially why he's hitting them well on the range and not off the grass. There's two things. One, he could just be hitting them off the tee, which is an obvious one. Mats allow you to bounce the club. So you hit the mat 3 inches behind the ball, it bounces off the mat, hit the ball, and you hit it pretty well. As soon as you're out on the golf course, you hit the ground gives way, you don't hit it as well. And he does say he tops the ball a lot. So essentially, I'd be looking to get him hitting his woods closer towards his front foot, because the bottom of his swing arc's just too far behind. He's probably got too much weight on the back foot, therefore the club wants to hit behind the ball, then the ball, and then he's getting this constant jumping up effect, so he doesn't hit the ground, but then he ends up topping it. It's a really common problem that I see with people that top their woods. The drill I'd use, put that ball basically on the outside of your left foot, like seriously, like further left than your driver, and just try and hit it, because you're going to have to go this way to even make contact with it. Practice that 2, 3, 4 weeks over and over again. You'll get used to shifting your weight this way with a wood rather than backwards, because we all want to try and hit a wood upwards. You do need to hit down on it.
The irons, I had Cobra V-Groove irons.
They're scary. Russell, you have done very well to even be playing them. I would be scared to hit those.
TRD.
They are bladed.
I can't hit at all.
I'm not surprised, mate. I'm honestly not surprised. He's got a 3, a 6, 8, a 9, and a pitching wedge and a putter. So he's shooting essentially 100 to 110 with half a set of clubs. Not only that, with a set of clubs that's close to 20 to 25 years old now, which is the first time that I've ever been sent a video where the person's been limited towards their ability, if that makes sense, which I'm really happy to see. Majority of the time, you've watched these video now, guys, don't put any more in your bag, go and practice and play. Don't go and put any more in your bag, go and practice and play. This is the one video, and he's obviously bought some new clubs now, which I'm very excited to see. This is the only time that I'd be going, you need to buy some clubs. So here's the second video. Russell showing us the upgrades he's made to his bag.
This is my second video. I have updated my bag, and I'm looking forward to getting back out on the course playing. I've been to the driving range a few times, hitting these clubs, and they feel fantastic. And I just want to show you what I've got. And I've space for 3 more. I need some help from you to tell me exactly what it is you think I should get. So let me start off. I'll start off with my new driver.
So this whole bag costs £310.
My new driver is
equivalent
Cobra
of what the bar is in Thailand.
Let me take it out the cover.
which I think is quite good because I don't know what the second-hand market is like in Thailand. I don't know if it's
nice
good or
and big
bad.
head, and so far it's working pretty well for me on the driving range. I'm liking it a lot. Like I say, zero limits. I managed to buy that from a friend of mine. It cost me around about 65, 70 pounds, and I'm happy with it. I then bought...
To be fair, that's probably quite expensive, but we're very fortunate in the UK that we have so much choice. The main thing is you've got a big forgiving head there, which is a lot better than what you previously would have. So, I mean, I probably could find one of those for like £40. But as I said, I think Russell's very limited. I think he's made a great choice in how much he spent and what he's got for his money, and I do think that's going to be a massive advantage to his golf game for sure. And he gets on with it, so it doesn't really matter.
The gap wedge.
Love these.
Of these TaylorMade R7, they're called CGB Max. They've got the cavity back, which is giving me more.
That just screams like that will be exactly the same as the MCGB that they brought out 2 years ago and was £180 an iron. Again, forgiving, it's going to help off centre shots. You're going to get much more out of it than you would of your previous irons. Great choice.
Giving me more forgiveness. And as you see, I've got from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They look great, don't they, in the bag?
All the way.
How good do they look in the bag?
Gap wedge. And
it must be light and day hitting those compared to the old ones.
Going well, although I know that I believe that they're a bit stronger. So the 5 is actually a 4, the gap wedge is actually a pitching wedge. But anyway,
a lot of you would probably be asking, Simon, he's got graphite shafts in those. Is that going to make a massive difference? Until you're getting down to shooting 90 consistently, I can't see it being a problem. We're talking the good shots, not necessarily going to be a good shot or well-flighted shot with a steel shaft, let's say custom fitted, isn't going to drop 10 shots off your game. The graphite shafts, if anything, going to help clubhead speed. They're probably going to help a slice, as most people start the game with a slice. So graphite shafts is probably a good choice. Are they going to stand the test of time? No, but then the head design is quite chunky. If he gets down to 85s, 80s, he's going to want more control anyway, so the irons will have to come out and he'll have to swap. Overall, the head design, especially when you're starting the game, is more important than the shaft itself.
Very happy with them. I've then bought this 50, I think, just let me tell you, I think these were around about, oh, let me see, £140 maybe for my irons. Then I got my 56 degree sand wedge. From one of your latest videos, I believe this is maybe going to be banned soon. It's got the spin milled Vokey design. I think this is the one you said recently is only going to be able to be used until 2024. However, it's in the bag and I'm not playing any tournaments, so I'm expecting, I don't think I'll have to change it. And then that cost me £25. I then bought this one, the 60, because I wanted the other Vokey, the 60 in the Vokey, for a lob wedge. This is M grind. Let me see if I can make it clear for you. And this one cost me around about just under £50 for this one. And to complete my bag, for about £35, I bought the Odyssey 2-ball putter. As you can see, it's pretty nice. There's not many scratches on it. And I'm very happy with it. Now, my biggest issue with this bag is obviously I have nothing between 5 and driver.
Let me sum this up. Potentially just whack your 3 and 5 wood back in your bag. I think a lot of people will relate to this, hitting their woods as far as their driver. Driver takes an enormous amount of control and practice to actually get good at, because no matter what your ball speed is, your launch and your spin has to be good for you to get anything out of that distance. As soon as you go above 220 yards, if you're spinning the ball too much, no wonder, or not enough, no wonder your 3-wood or 5-wood is going as far. I personally would just add a new 5-wood to the bag, something 40, 50 quid, regular flex, graphite, or maybe stiff flex for looking down for the future. 5-wood, 100, I don't think you even said 5-wood because you're going to get more loft. I think that makes sense. In the short term, just put your other Callaway. If it's going that far, I know it's not forgiving, but just whack that in at the moment just to give yourself that bit of a gap. Overall, I think you've done a superb job. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. As I say, if you want to be in the next one, send me a video, what's in your golf bag at gmail.com, and I'll be sure to review that before lockdown ends, unless I get 2,000 of them like I did last time. Guys, see you later.